Very good morning. Very good morning. Goeiemorgen. Goeiemorgen. South Africa. Good morning, South Africa. Molweni Mzansi. It is now on the dot 9 o'clock. It is Wednesday. And as per our agreement, every Wednesday, 9 o'clock South African time, no matter where we are, no matter what we are, we have a family meeting, we have a grouping of understanding that I will speak to you. So it's always a great pleasure. Baie groot plesier vanoggend weer. Goeiemôre Gerald. Goeiemôre Marinda. Nico Lugransie, baie goeiemôre. Hans Piek, goed om te sien dat jy hierso is. Gerald, thank you very much. Matthea Karen, goeiemôre. Heidi, goeiemôre. Ibrahim Hamed, salam alaikum. How are you? Hope you're well. Peter Bates. Peter, goed om jou te sien altyd. Joe Beitel, Jacobs, môre. Annikie van Vieren. Cherise, my dogter Rafer. Dit is nie so ver. En George, goeiemôre Cherise. Hoop het gaan goed met jou. Kevin, ja, blou, né? Maar besluit ek draak my blou hempie aan. How's it, Paul? How are you? From Mossel Bay. Ek dink is Virkuline, né? Ek hoop is reg. Virkuline van Heerden. Goeiemôre Elizabeth, Nola. Peter Bates, it's 7 in the UK. Absolutely stunning to have you here with us. Baie goed om jou hier so te hê. Belangrik. Denise, goeiemôre. Sonja. Ja, got a lot of stuff I'd like to get through to you. Vandag praat ons oor in spesifiek 3 aangeleenthede. We are going to talk about 3 to 4 things that are really on my mind. It's our weekly state of the nation. Where are we and what are we doing? Maar Anina, wil ook net sê môre. Denise, my solid rock, my favorite member. Denise Siegel, good to see you. Isabel Roche, good morning. Fani, Xaliti, Martha, goeiemôre. Rashida, assalamu alaikum. Koti, Giuliani, good morning. Good morning. Valerie, Cookie van der Merwe, goed om julle te sien. I'm going to start when we are about 250. So nou so 200 mense op die lyn. Van 'n paar mense weer groet Gary. Dit's 'n lekker dag hier in die Weskaap. Môre is ons groot raadsvergadering weer in die Kaap en stad. So ek is reg om ek wil gou vir julle iets wys. Dames en here, hierdie is 1 pak. Ek wil net vir julle wys wat ek in die raad doen. What does a councillor have to go through? Voordat ons begin met my gesprek, kyk net hierso. Hierdie hele pak, kyk net hierso. Hierdie hele pak is ons notules. So voordat jy in 'n raadsvergadering weekliks ingaan, kry jy dit. En jy moet elke bladsy moet jy deurlees. So van my kant af is dit 'n verskrikking. The amount of paper that you have to go through. So tomorrow is council day, so the rest of the day after my life, I'm going to have to read approximately 800 pages. So being in council isn't that easy always, né? Om 'n raadslid te wees is nie altyd maklik nie. Dis werk. Jy moet werk vir die mense. Right, so ek gaan nou begin. Ons is op 250 mense. Goeiemôre, good morning. Molweni Mzansi. It's good to see you. A bit after the Sona speech, and then today, vandag is almal se ore so, almal se oë, because today is budget day. Vandag gaan die minister van Finansies sy begroting om 2 uur vandag gaan hy dit in die parlement voorlê. Now let's quickly, between me and you, let's talk about budget. The budget today has to be approximately 1.3 to 1.4 trillion rand. Ek gaan dit weer sê. Die budget van hierdie jaar is net oor 1.7 triljoen rand. 1.37 trillion it was last year. And the problem that we've got today is that this minister that's going to give us the budget at 2 o'clock has to make up for the promises that the president did in his State of the Nation 2 weeks ago. Ons weet vandag is die begrotingsvisie. Vandag gaan die minister van Finansies parlement toe en hy gaan die nasionale begroting van Suid-Afrika gaan hy nou op die tafel lê. Hierdie begroting gaan ek natuurlik uitmekaar uitskeer. Ons gaan dit dissekteer en ons gaan inspesifiek kyk na 'n paar van die goeie. So I'm just giving you a prophecy that the budget that this Minister of Finance is going to put on the table must contain, and I will get back to you on my budget debate, that's right, Neil's budget debate, you can look forward for that, will be on actually the weekend. So more news about that. I'm going to be a bit of a budget debater on Saturday morning. So look out for that. Kyk uit, my eerste budget, my begrotingsdebat analise, gaan ek sommer Saterdag ook gaan doen. Ek dink hier so 11:00 se kant gaan ons dit doen. Net om vir julle te vertel op 'n mooi Saterdag, wat 'n gemors of wat 'n realiteit het vandag die minister van Finansies vir ons opgedis. Wat hierdie land moet opdis in hierdie potjie kos van begroting, is nommer 1, hy beter die polisie se begroting opstoot en nie verkleineer nie. So die begroting van die polisiediens moet op. Die tweede ding wat hierdie moet doen, is hy moet vir ons 'n breek gee vir klein en entrepreneurial besighede. He has to now roll out the green carpet. Hy moet nou die rooi tapuit uitlei, sodat ons as besigheid intensief nou kan begin werk. Die laaste ding wat ek wil sien, is die pensionarisse en die mense op hierdie oomblik wat glad nie die geld kry om hulle aan die lewe te hou nie. Dit is ons senior burgers, dat daar 'n verandering gaan wees met die eskalasie daarom van die pensioene van ons mense. So I'm looking forward to the budget. I will be doing 11 o'clock on Saturday, that's right. Om 11:00 Saterdagoggend, I'm doing Neil NDB and the UIM budget debate. En julle weet, ons sauna, ons begrotingsdebat, ons sinne praat altyd die waarheid, praat reguit, geen grys tussen die twee nie. So 11 o'clock on Saturday, I look forward doing the UIM's dissection of the budget to be for this year. En ons beter goeie geld kry. En dit help nie ons sit aan mekaar belasting op alkohol en sigarette nie, mense. Ons kan nie hierdie land regeer deur paaie, petrol, sigarette en drank nie. Ons moet begin ander maniere kry en die enigste manier is maak meer werk. So I'm waiting for the Minister of Finance to tell me how he's going to create more work from the promises that the President made. And I think that's fair. So look forward to the budget debate today, and then Neil NDB's budget debate analysis Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, where I'll take the budget and I will speak English. Ek gaan die begroting vat en Afrikaans praat, want dan miskien kan ons dit beter verstaan waar steek hulle ons of in die rug of gee vir ons 'n bietjie suiker, né? Balans, ons soek 'n bietjie balans. So I'll be doing that for you, just like I did the State of the Nation debate. I think that wasn't a bad analysis of the president's jokes, lies, and absolute untruths that he was trying to sell to us in this country. That's what the UIM is going to do. The UIM is going to keep you bloody accountable. Ons gaan julle verantwoordelik hou. Dis die enigste ding waar ek weet ons as die UIM 100% kan bydra. En dit is om julle die hele tyd voor te hou met die waarheid, né? En dis wat ons gaan doen. So, budget speech, looking forward to it. And let's see what happens. Now, I've been waiting for a week now. Not totally waited a week for something to say, but I waited a week so that I can address this thing called violence in South Africa. Now, either I am living in a total different cuckoo land, but I doubt it. We woke up for the past 2 weeks in this country where three things are very, very apparent. And I'm speaking now as the leader of the UIM. I'm speaking of someone that sits in local government. And I'm speaking as a business owner. And I'm speaking as a citizen now of South Africa. Ek gaan die volgende gesprekkie met u aangaan as die president van die UIM, 'n nasionale politieke party. Ek gaan met u praat as 'n persoon wat in raad sit in 'n metrostad. Ek gaan met u praat as 'n pa van 4 kinders. Ek gaan met julle praat as 'n besigheidseienaar en as normale mens nommer X. The violence that we have just seen in the past 14 days, starting with the horrific murder of a security guard, of a security officer, and then the massive, brutal war scenario created yesterday or the day before in Johannesburg with the police shootout with those, all that I can call them is domestic terrorists. I want to address this. The brutality of the crime in this country has absolutely come to the point where we mustn't become the world when there was the calling of the genocide in Rwanda. Now I'm going to be very frank and straight with you today. This country has surpassed, in my opinion, as a security specialist for the past 32 years, that has been in security, in the Defence Force, spent time in the police, and the majority of my time in intelligence, as you know. I can clearly tell you that the analysis that we are drawing every day from a private political security ideology is there can be no doubt from now on, after the Rosettenville killings, that this country has escalated to a state of domestic war. Daar kan vir my geen rede wees hoekom ons op hierdie oomblik in hierdie land sit en sien wat ons sien op YouTube. Hoe 'n sekuriteitswag soos 'n hond doodgeslaan word en met klippe doodgegooi word. Met sy eie halgeweer stok doodgeslaan word. Op kamera, terwyl iemand staan en kyk. Dat 'n sekuriteitsoffisier, Terry, 'n man wat op hierdie oomblik oor die hele weermag en oor die weermag se veterane geken word as 'n persoon wat in spesmagte was, wat by 5JK gedien het en wat een van die topsoldate was in opleiding in die land, wat brutaal vermoor is, ook onder die Clover vaandel. Ek het hierdie week gevra dat iemand my asseblief moet update, iemand moet my asseblief inlig, of indien wel Clover sy bestuur 'n publieke media statement uitgegee het en 'n verklaring uitgereik het om te verduidelik wat gebeur het. Ons het nog nie so iets gesien nie. Ek verwag dat 'n maatskappy soos Clover, wat op hierdie oomblik geïntimideer word deur net blaatante terrorisme, dat hierdie maatskappy ondersteuning moet kry. Want as dit Clover is vandag, dan wie is dit môre? Simba. Wie is dit volgende? I&J. Mense, ons moet begin kyk. Ons kan nie nou terugstaan nie. Ons kan nie nou begin sê maar dis 'n Clover probleem nie. Want môre is dit nie 'n Clover, dis 'n Boucoma probleem môre. Môre is dit 'n Pick n Pay, 'n Shoprite, 'n Checkers, 'n Clicks, 'n Dion's, 'n Game. Wat is môre? Want as hulle wragtig kan instap sonder enige polisie beskerming en hulle kan instap in 'n maatskappy en vir hulle moer oor werk dispuut. Waar is ons dan? Die brutaliteit wat op hierdie oomblik uitgemergel word op ons boere. Die brutaliteit op mens, waar mens 'n sidderende beeld sien en dan dink jy aan Rwanda. Dan dink jy hoe daai mense, die fotos op TV, waar jy sien hoe hulle pangas vat en die mense in die pad doodkap. En die wêreld het gesit en geweier om te help. Jy weet, dan kry jy nou hierdie opinie van die man het 'n familieman. Die man is miskien 'n pa, 'n broer, 'n seun van iemand. In Suid-Afrika, wat is die ergste? Ons het alweer aanbeweeg. We've moved on again. Hierdie brutale video's wat ons sien van eienaars wat geskiet word, mense wat gehijack word, mense wat vermoor word, skietery van gangsters, mense wat nou in die pad kan staan en op polisie kan skiet, op 'n helikopter kan skiet van die polisie. Hierdie is die lyn wat getrek moet word, Bekkie Cele. Magtig man, kan jy nie sien nie? Nee, jy kan nie, want jou bloody hoed ram is oor jou oë. Mr. Cele, don't you understand that we are losing the battle against crime? We have failed the people. We are at a state of domestic war, Mr. Cele. Mr. Ramaphosa, don't you understand? If people with AK-47s, which are used in war, can drive publicly, even if you were checking them, monitoring them, crime intelligence planning, they still had the capability of coming into the country with weapons of war and each 2 magazines of 60 rounds. 7.62. Do you understand that? Do you get it? Does your tank here fill yourself up? God, can you not see we are being murdered here by terrorists? The people that were now caught, outshot, arrested. Out of those guys, South African, Botswana, and another gentleman's from Zim. Isn't that crazy? We have people from Zimbabwe, Botswana, in cahoots with people from South Africa, murdering and attacking us with AK-47s. Now, what is that? I am sorry. It's not crime. This is not crime, sir. This is domestic terrorism. What's the difference? The difference is that when you commit a crime, the crime has got a focus, the crime has got an ideology, the crime has got a certain level of involvement of violence. But not at the segment of terrorizing and coming in here with weapons of war. That is not crime. That can only be described as domestic terrorism against us as people. What are you going to do? What are we going to do at this current moment in time? We are tired of continually telling the people 100% that Mr. Bekkie Cele, Commissioner Sitole, there's a problem. It's going in there, it's going out there, nobody's listening. It's just going on. They can have a massive shootout for more than 2 hours in a city in Johannesburg. And we can't contain it, even to the point where they shoot at the helicopters and they hit the pilot. South Africa, where are we? Now, Mr. President, you said nothing. You said nothing. Mr. President, you said you are going to change the leadership in the security cluster of this country. You better do this before the people demand it. Remember, the people are so punch-drunk under what you've brought, COVID, that we are going to get up. Ek gaan nou vir u sê, hoor my baie mooi vandag. As ons nie verandering kry in hierdie land, om ons mense in hierdie land 100% te beskerm nie, kan ek maar nou vir jou sê, die mense gaan opstaan, die mense gaan praat en die mense gaan politieke verandering wil hê. Hoor my? Ons is daar. Ons is nou moer toe. We are fighting on so many sides. When you catch a Zimbabwean that's got an AK and he's sitting in a South African hijacked car, you have failed. You have failed. Because you failed at the border, you failed at immigration, you failed to secure the country's sovereignty, you couldn't catch them and stop them from entering. They came into the country, they're not reported, they're actually an illegal immigrant that has got no track record, and that's why they can go and get a gun, and they can kill our people in cash-in-transit heists. That's it. Eureka, I've just solved your case. Call me Sherlock Holmes. No, sir. This is you. This is crime intelligence, which, by the way, the Human Rights Commission said failed. You failed. Are we asking the people of this country to fight back? Are we again going to depend on the citizens of this country, like the citizens of KZN that stood in Phoenix, that stood in Chatsworth, that stood in Pietermaritzburg and had to physically go from a petrol attendant, a shop market owner, a cafe owner, an electrician, a plumber, and a mechanic? Are you asking those guys to again down their tools, pick up their guns, and protect society? Mr. President, the violence in this country has gone overboard. And I, as a political leader and employing you, you've got to put more police on the table, and you've got to train them more. If we are living in a society where more than 16 people can come in armed with illegal machine guns and cars they hijacked, and some of those that they took the cars from are probably dead, how do we go on today as a society? You promised change in 100 days. Mr. President, we will, after this 100 days, we will do a body count of all the murders that took place in this country, and then see how you changed it. This country is out of control, and we need control. We need absolute zero tolerance at this current moment, and that's what we're going for. We don't want crime in our country to escalate. Then I've been quite silent, not because I want to, but because of Mr. Julius Malema and the masses of court clips. Jy weet, orals sien ons vir ou Frikkie Malema op TikTok, op Instagram, op Facebook, orals waar hy sy bek kan rek. Dis nou meneer Frikkie Julius, wat nou lekker sit daar in 'n hof en sy toesprake maak, sê wat hy wil sê, party van die goed ongelooflik wat hy onder eed sê, en hy dink hy's 'n great mens. Nou, Mr. Malema, Julius Juju, or aka Frikkie, has been sitting in a court of law, fighting AfriForum and defending hate speech. And obviously, every second sentence following the true nationalistic mantra of not being able to get out of history and completely using the word racism. Now, for a guy that wasn't even 19, in other words, had a brain in 94, he was a teenager, to suddenly now puke and puke all these fantastic riddles about oppression and settlers and people wanting to take land and all that, and 5 trillion, it's about probably what they're trying to steal from BBS. I don't know, that must still not come out, but making massive idiotic statements. There are 3 things I'm going to repetitively say about Frikkie. Number 1, hate speech is hate speech. I don't have to take you to court. I don't have to prove it that you're full of hate. Jy's vol haat, man. And you know what's the problem? And I'm going to surprise many of you in this session this morning. I know him. I've obviously met him. I have obviously, when I was at Lutuli House, I've seen him a lot. I've been to many state functions where I have engaged with him, passed by. So it's not that I don't know him. What amazes me, and I don't think it's going to amaze everybody here, is that he's not stupid. I want you I want you to listen to me today, South Africa. Don't underestimate Julius Frikkie Malema. Don't underestimate him. This guy is not maybe educated to the highest level like you think he is, but I'm telling you, he is baie slim. He's streetwise. Now, when you look at a guy like this, a guy that is clever and a guy that is streetwise, I'm more scared of the streetwise guy. Because the clever guy normally wants to play according to the rules, not a streetwise guy. So I can tell you right now, never make a mistake that Julius Malema is an idiot. He's not an idiot. Hy's 'n strateeg. En sy gespuis, sy gespil, sy gespruitery van absolute gemors, van absolute drakoniese geskiedenis waar hy nie verby kan kom nie. Hierdie ou praat met 'n klomp mense waar hierdie spasie van hier tot hier, gekrimp het. Met ander woorde, hy praat met die mense waar daar geen realiteit in hulle brein is nie. Hulle het 'n absolute dom sel. You know what I'm saying? They've got this cap over the head where no current intelligence or upgrade can actually penetrate. I think it's a cocoon. Kom ons noem hom die DC, die dof cocoon. So you get many people in the world that doesn't have a dof cocoon. You know, jy kan sommer dadelik sien as jy met 'n ou praat dan, ja, maar jy kry 'n ou wat 'n dof cocoon het, 'n DC, en hy kyk vir jou so as jy praat oor iets wat 'n bietjie hier lê, hy kyk vir jou so. Nou, kyk 'n bietjie as Julius praat, kyk 'n bietjie as hy met sy rooi jelly tots. Kyk 'n bietjie oor en jy sal sien as hy praat oor goed soos budget, as hy praat oor soos GDP, as hy praat oor inkomste na belasting, as jy praat oor hoe 'n land se ekonomie moet streef, met ander woorde, as jy kyk 'n bietjie oor die hele crowd as hy daaroor praat, dan kan jy almal van hulle sien, hulle lyk so. Nou die ding is, jy gaan nooit in jou lewe volgens my, gaan jy in EFF skare so sien nie, so. Nee, jy gaan almal sien so. Nou, jy gaan nooit in jou lewe hierdie ene sien nie, want Julius praat nooit oor die ekonomie as hy met sy mense praat nie. Nee, dit is kill the bookie, the farmer, take the land, nationalize. Daar's hy. Nationalize, take the land, kill the boer. Dis dit. Dit is die IK wat hy deurspruit met sy miljoene rooi jelly tots wat op en af hop, omdat hy die hele tyd praat met hulle oor goed wat die dom cocoon, the dumb cocoon shadow, jy weet, dit is, ja, So as hy 'n bietjie opgaan, nê, gaan hy absoluut sy crowd verloor. Dis hoekom hulle overalls dra. Want jy hoef nie te sukkel met 'n belt en knope nie. Jy zip dit net op. Ja. So, what a lot of toss. You see, Mr. Malema, when you sit there and you say that you can make the call, that's what you said. You said under oath in this country, in a court, you said you can make a call to call the people to war or to call them to make a problem, but you are not there yet. Now, hoor my mooi, hoor my. You said that in court, young man. You said that you have no problem with killing. Yay. You said that. You said that you can basically tell us that you have the power to call up, né, people to do a specific act, and that act was violence. But you say you're not there yet, but the call can come. Nou hoor gou vir my, Frikkie, doen it. Don't walk around and sit in a protective area and say, you can do that. You say that. You say the people must pay for reparation. You say the people must. You're out of your depth. You're sitting on a Titanic, and that Titanic, you've got to agree, is your little hole, your little red cave, where you are the boo-boo boss, and you are sitting with people that have got dumb cocoons wrapped around their faces. And that's the only way that you are ever going to survive. So ons stel nie belang in jou gemors nie. You are not for 1 second in command. You run no municipality, you run no state. You've been going for years, nearly 2 decades, and you've achieved a couple of people, your DC people, that run around. So the fact that you can sit in public and talk rubbish to those people standing there that have etiquette, jy moet daai nonsens kom praat tussen ons mense, dan gaan jy op jou gat geraps word. But that nonsense you can go talk in court because you've got a microphone and a camera. You say you're not scared of dying. You say that you're not scared. Mr. Frikkie Julius Juju Malema, you've not seen fear yet. Yeah? You've not seen fear yet. You must be charged. And you are going to get charged. And the UIM is not going to let you go. You took a firearm that you were not licensed for, and you fired it in a public space at a gathering of the EFF. That is the contravention of 3 laws under the Criminal Act. Firing of a weapon in a public space, in possession of a firearm without a license, in possession of ammunition without a license, and that is something you are not going to get away with because it's all over the TV. Secondly, you insulted, and with your little group, you assaulted a police officer. No excuse. It seems your trend in violence and in speech is what AfriForum is saying. When you say something, you say the people don't do it. They do it. You see, you pushing and assaulting police has now caused, at the opening of Parliament, 12 of your members pushing and assaulting police again, and they got away with it. Why are you getting away with stuff, Mr. Malema? Let's find out. Let's find out how deep your roots are and how deep you are up certain people's trees. En dan kom ons terug na julle toe. But I'm telling you now, you can sit in a court under oath and say you will make the court to war, you this against the white people and that against the white and white and white. You'll be surprised how many black people want to murder you. It's not just us. Then finally, South Africa, racism is the card. Racisme is die kaart. It's the ticket they play. And that goes both ways. Rassisme werk al twee kante. Want in 'n nasie, in 'n groep, in 'n volk, is daar 'n groep wat net nie kan draai nie. And I'm not talking about just white people. I'm talking about white people and black people, colored people and Indian. All of us has got an agreed amount of racism. This is there. We must stop lying. But what we don't want is that one race group puts over an authority of another race group, vice versa. That's why I'm saying currently the status of BEE is racist. And it's racist, and it should be tested constitutionally. As simple as that. We don't want BEE, we want NEE. So the basis of racism, I want to tell you guys, please do me a favor. Don't fall for racism. Racism in the sense of jou kultuur, ons kultuur, verdedig, no problem. But continually attacking a race about the economy, the history, get over it, man. And until we haven't, until we don't start thinking, met ander woorde, ons moet die dom kokon, moet ons 'n bietjie van ons koppe afhaal. Die dom kokon. And until you haven't removed the dumb cocoon off your head, that thing stopping you from seeing things, I don't think we'll get anywhere. I don't think we're going anywhere. So I'm asking the leaderships, the people out there, lead by example. Because when you sing songs, you perform tricks, you use your hand as a gun, you are not going to help anybody move forward. You're just taking us back. So my message today is I hope that the budget speech brings relief. I will be dissecting that budget on Saturday, point for point, where we think they failed, and obviously bringing you the truth where they did well. In layman's terms, né? Met ander woorde, ek en jy se begroting verstandhouding. The violence, I've spoken about it now, Clover, the violence that happened in Rosettenville, the murder, the callous shooting at police, domestic war, eh? Hate speech, really? We're not dumb, eh? We were born at night, not last night. Must stop. And finally, stop playing the race card. Race card is not going to help us at the end of the day. So you know what I think? Every single time that you speak to someone, every time that you're in an argument, use the argument in a debate of intelligence, not race. Race is the final one where you can immediately see someone has lost the debate. They're not intellectual enough, so they bite you in the place it hurts. We're not going to fall for it. Never ever in our lives. Our luta continua, the fight continues, and we keep our spirits high. Finally, I want to thank every single person that emails me on my email address. I'm trying to answer as many. I will be catching up this week. I think I'll do it quite well. So if you want to email me, ask me any question. It's Neil, Neil, Neil at uimsa.org. That is exactly where we are. We are on Neil, Neil at uimsa.org. If you want to speak to me, that's my private email address for my party. Let us know. For the rest of the people, if you want to ask questions, people like Stephen, Cindy, our SG, Jacques is there. I see a lot here from Cherise, as always. Everybody that I can't see here that are here, thank you. If you look at the bottom, that's right, we do need your money support. We need you to stand with us. Every week we speak about the importance of funding. And in specifically, we are going to speak next week about the first project fundraiser, where we would like you to please help us so that we can go on our first line of tour. I'm looking forward. So myself, the Vice President, the SG, going on a small town-for-town segmented tour. We've got about 5 or 6 of them this year, where we promise to get to places like Uppington, Kimberley, Those places we never were able to get to in the previous time. So baie dankie. Ek wil vir julle maar sê baie dankie dat jy by my gebly het. We hit 680 at one stage. We will climb. Please share. Please like. Thank you very much always for tuning in and being there with me. It's always absolutely fantastic. If you see this, please forward this. Share the living hell out of this thing so that we can get our weekly message across. Remember, love each other. Every single one of us is special. We are made in a special way, and we look at the image of God and we're just thankful. So vir almal van julle baie dankie. Ek waardeer wie julle is. Ek waardeer dat julle altyd vir my hierdie uurtjie gee. Op 'n Woensdagoggend net om 'n bietjie met u te praat. May God bless you. Remember, South Africa always first, but God in the UIM number one. God bless South Africa. God bless you. Kyk na julleself. Stuur vir ons daai SMS'e. Kyk en ons sien julle weer Saterdag 11:00. Ons sal 'n banner uitkry. The budget dissected by myself on Saturday morning 11 o'clock. If you want to tune in just to get a couple of points of the budgets that are important. May God protect you. Mag die Here julle seën. Have an absolutely great week. Our Vice President Fatima Abdul, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I'm going to reciprocate tomorrow. It's Fatima Live. Look forward to her subjects. Always guidance from our stunning Vice President. Our SG was here. Stephen, to everybody else, thank you very much. May God bless you. And thank you very much for your love and for your time. Bye-bye.